3, 2, 1. And we're live once again
Alright, what's up, guys?
for number 138, I think. And we are here again. You remember the last time that we introduced our new robot Butler?
Yeah.
We got him again. So I'm just going to greet him. Hello, Albert. How are you doing?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? Everything going well on your end?
Yeah, okay. So he is starting to ask meaningless questions as per usual with Albert. And Albert, of course, is the AI. But he's just asking. And can you hear him, by the way?
No.
Oh, yeah, I need to share my screen. So you can.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I'll just. Because then you'll. If we do, I'm not. I don't think that we will get him this. That we will get to meet him this episode. But if we do, then it's nice for you to have a sound cue of when you can talk and when he is talking.
I was having like a question about the world today.
Yeah.
Because we are in war times. We have this shitstorm going down in Iran.
Before we get into that, though, I would like to ask the more important question. How was your weekend?
It was like semi-tiresome. I mean, like we had like this small company party or inflyttningsfest for like Dasha, the Ukrainian, on Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like pretty tired and I was pretty beat up, but I went there anyway. So that was like nice. We like played some games. I had a couple of beers, not more than 2, since I was driving, as was like everybody else.
My one of my friends and I shared a comically large 2 liter bottle of quite good Danish beer. I can't remember what the name was though, but you can get it at Menu.
Yeah.
That was really good. Brewed after the German Reinheitsgebot, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. I mean, they don't advertise it in Denmark, but it is because there isn't more than water, yeast, hops, and what was the last thing? Water, yeast, hops, and wait, what's the last ingredient in beer?
Like water, yeast, hops, and malt.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that was all.
It's funny, like when you are in Southern Europe, then they have all these like 2 liter bottles of beer in their like local brands plastered on the on the walls in the supermarket. Making it seem like an alcoholic's dream to like come in there and like just get like free 2 liter bottles of beer and then head home. Like,
fuck, man. But yeah, so my weekend was pretty cool. Like, I had the board game weekend with the guys, like watching movies and shit. So, I'm well rested for the future.
I'm definitely not. I mean, like I had Tor, my son, from Saturday till today. And it is like quite the hassle, quite the work when you have a kid in a wheelchair.
Yeah, because of the broken arm. Right?
Yeah, but you gotta dismantle the wheelchair, put that in the car, then like get it out again, and then get him in it, and then wheel him around. But it was like fine. The most troublesome was like to carry him up and down the stairs whenever he needed to go to the bathroom. I mean, like you've been here, the bathroom is upstairs, right?
No.
And Tor is not a light kid. Like he is 7 years old, and probably 40 kilos or something.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like basically an all-day workout.
Yeah. And today was like fine though. I mean, like we got up. He got like the lasagna leftovers from yesterday for dinner for breakfast.
Yeah.
Doing my
Damn, that is a king breakfast though.
yeah, man. And also
Holy
like
shit.
it is and also like it is keeping my budget down.
Yeah.
Since like I've noticed that like if I'm like buying in for the whole weekend and like buying in breakfast, buying in yogurt, all this stuff plus what I'm using to get dinner, it like I'm just like feeling like hate through my eyes when I'm hearing that cashier saying, yeah, det blir 400 fiskronor. Right.
Well, they're just they're just speaking
Yeah,
the facts, but yeah, like
yeah, I know. But like I'm glad that like I don't fucking get it how families like because like it has to go like a lot for a family to buy in for like breakfast and dinner, and also if they have to like bring their own lunch to work.
no.
But yeah, that's that. So like that was like fine, and then he was like begging. Like we went for like a long walk after this. But before that, he was like he like really wanted a pizza, and
Damn.
asked me if we could just like go and buy a frozen pizza. And I was like, screw that, Tor. Like, nah, we're gonna make it homemade. Uh,
Yeah.
because I had all the
Much
stuff.
healthier.
I had the pizza flour, the Tip 00 flour. I had the yeast, had pepperoni in the freezer, and had mozzarella cheese. The ones in diced
Yeah.
mozzarella cheese, the real stuff. Yeah, much healthier. Because like in comparison, like we did have pizza at this Inflyttningsfest on Friday.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking that, like, my God, like my pizza is better than this pizza. Uh, and on top of that, like you're feeling like bloated the day after, um, because of like all the toppings they use on pizzas in Denmark.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy to me because when you are in Italy, they do not put 50 different things on a pizza.
Nah, they're like
Like,
the
it's-
original Italian
Yeah.
pizza's always been simple, like 2 or 3 toppings max.
Yeah, like you have the marinara sauce, you have the cheese, and then maybe basil leaves if you're having a margarita.
Well, I think the margarita isn't even cheese. Like that's just tomato sauce and like these leaves. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
What are they called?
Yeah, basil
leaves,
Yeah,
and then some
Yeah.
oil, and that's it.
yeah. It's like very, very light, right? And if you have like cheese, then maybe it's like cheese, and then maybe there's like pepperoni or some Italian.
And I think
ham.
the Napolitana even has the one that has so little, not even cheese. But I'm
Yeah,
actually just gonna ask Albert about that. What is in a Napolitana pizza?
A Neapolitan pizza is a traditional Italian pizza that originates from Naples. It's known for its thin, soft, and chewy crust with a slightly puffy edge, and it's typically topped with simple, high-quality ingredients like some Marzano tomatoes, mozzarella.
No, what is in it? Oh, okay. He was just gonna list.
Oh
it.
no.
No worries at all. It's definitely a delicious choice if you're ever in the mood.
Yeah, okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna
You're not gonna get the answer because in Napolitan pizza,
Yeah.
that is just the pizza style, and here we're like getting to it that like in the reason why they're like only keeping so few ingredients on the pizzas is that is to get it, you know, like crisp. If you are like putting like a shit ton of toppings like do in Denmark, you get what Freddy at Crispy's Pizza in New York that you watch is calling a flop jalop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
But it actually says there mozzarella cheese and a Neapolitan pizza, so they do that.
Yeah.
But then only fresh basil and maybe
Yeah.
olive oil, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's also what you see with that dude Freddy on YouTube, who's always like, here you got a slice, no flop, man, straight as an arrow.
Look, they are very generous with the cheese.
Oh,
But yeah, they are. It's not like flop jalop. It's like crisp.
No.
They're like and with that, they're managing to bake the pizza dough to perfection.
And they also use high quality ingredients, so that comes to it as well. And a special dough that gets extra crispy on the bottom, so it doesn't become a flop jalop.
Yeah, they're using the real Italian tip 00 flour, like which just means that it's like very fine. What do you call like finvalset?
Finely grained.
Finely grained flour, right? And they don't use that in like pizzerias in Denmark for some reason. They seem to be using normal bread flour. So what you're basically getting with a pizza is white bread. You're getting white bread, and a shit ton of toppings. So it's like the most unhealthy thing you can eat.
Yeah. That is crap.
Yeah.
But no, I like before we get into the. You wanted to talk about.
Anyways,
war or something.
Yeah, but anyways, so like we went for the walk and we got back, and then now the dough had like raised, and it was like enough so that I could like split it and put the other half of the dough in the refrigerator, so that's gonna cold raise. And he was very happy with that. We had that, and then we played Farming Simulator for some hours. I cleaned up, and I drove him home in the afternoon. And since then, I have only had a few cans of beer, Tuborg Gull, and watched Gold Divers.
Yeah.
And then when you like typed to me, I was like thinking like, shit, I've been watching Gold Divers for 3 hours. I guess so.
Fuck, man. Well, needed to restitute from the workout.
Yeah.
Or from the physical and mental workout of taking care of a kid.
So it's gonna be good. Like now it's a week, and then they're going to remove the screws in his leg, and then he can start to attempt to walk on it again.
Damn, that's nice.
And then, but it's still gonna be like 8 hours of like limping before. No, I mean like 8 months of like limping before he's like back to full power.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, like about this war, right?
What war?
The Iran war. Global conflict or whatever.
Like what war? like there's something else that everybody is talking about.
You're thinking about like what war? Like the war, a cartel war in Mexico, the Ukraine war,
Ukraine war, the war in what was it? Somalia. There's also war, but nobody's talking about that because everybody's just like Iran oil. We can't get the oil anymore, so now we got to talk about this. It's like people never talk about stuff if it doesn't affect them. That is the rule.
It is weird because 80-90% of the oil that goes through the Strait of Hormuz is like oil bound for China. Uh, so it is not oil that is going to the West. You understand?
No.
Uh, and then second, it is weird that you have like this war that is like they're like trying to pull in the entire Middle East into it, and they're trying to pull in all of NATO into it. Um, but
Yeah.
it's weird because in times of like war and like impending global Middle East conflict, whatever, you would normally see gold and silver prices rising
Mm.
because people who are like panicking or people who don't like to see their shares go down would usually allocate their money into gold and silver. Uh, but that doesn't seem to happen because like that's also down like 20 or 30% in a relatively short amount of time.
Why?
Uh,
Why would that happen though?
because people are selling gold and silver and then putting the money elsewhere. What I just can't figure out is like
No, no,
why.
no, no, no. You just said that that in war times people will put their money into gold and silver. That means
Yeah,
they're buying gold and silver.
yeah. Normally that has like always
But
happened throughout
why?
history, because gold, especially gold, has been like looked upon like as a safe asset to put your money in.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
It was
Instead of
right.
housing, but housing
Yeah,
that can be
instead of
bombed.
instead of housing, instead of stocks, instead of everything else, right?
Yeah. Well,
Instead
I
of
mean,
bonds.
like, but you could you could buy a lot of gold or silver, and then in war times where there isn't many laws that are enforced, then you could have that gold stolen, and then you're still sitting with your dick in your hand.
Yeah. But there's like multiple ways of like buying it. You don't have to buy it physically. You can also like buy it through stakes and funds in gold mines or silver mines, or just in like exchange traded funds that
Oh
just
yeah,
track
so
the price
but the
of that.
point yeah, but the point is you buy it internationally,
Yeah.
so that the if your country's invaded or the country that like is in your region, if those get invaded, then they can't enforce your ownership rights to those
No. Yeah.
stocks.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
need you
Definitely.
need you need a
And
country that can enforce
and
those ownership rights.
and there is also something weird going on here, uh, because um, the Western, what do you call it, like Börs, uh, the Western exchanges for gold and silver are called COMEX. I think they're like located in London.
Yeah.
Um, but COMEX silver, here there are something weird going on because they seem to be somehow keeping the silver price under the value that it should be having, because in Shanghai, their silver exchange, they're like trading at $20 more an ounce. And now a lot of people are like mad about this and speculating if they should like rather take their silver and sell it to China, meaning that there will be less on the market for the Western world.
No.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
but so yeah, so like, and but that's not Why is that not happening though?
why they're not doing it yet, or what do you mean?
No, yeah. Why is nobody buying silver and gold?
Well, China is buying silver because like they're trading at like $20 more, and they are also mad that they're like getting a lower silver price in the West than what they believe should be the global price for it.
But that's
So
like so
so
weird because China would be the last country I would expect to be
yeah,
pulled into this
and
Middle Eastern conflict.
they have forbidden sales of silver to any country outside of China.
Damn.
Uh, so so like they're like harvesting and keeping all they can of this. So yeah, it's weird, and you can like ask any AI or just Google it why this is happening, and you get like some bullshit
Yeah.
question like they would just put the money in interest bonds instead. You know, bonds that are following the national interest of interest rates of like U.S.,
Yeah.
Denmark, and whatever. But why? Because it's not that crazy high interest that they're getting on these bonds.
That's interesting. Let's just try that. Why is nobody buying gold and silver in these ages of the Iran war and probably impending world war? Some say that as well, except for the Chinese, who are now forbidding sale to the outside world, outside of China.
It's an interesting question.
Albert had a stroke.
So, despite the current geopolitical tensions, many investors are not flocking to gold and silver for a few reasons. The prices already surged earlier this year, and with the strong US dollar and higher interest rates, gold and silver aren't as attractive. Also, some investors are actually selling off their holdings to stay liquid. Interestingly, China is still accumulating gold and restricting exports, which is a unique twist.
Yeah, so that's yeah, as you said, a bullshit answer.
Yeah, it's a bullshit answer. I mean, like you buy anything of that fucking answer?
No, fuck
Or
no.
not? It doesn't make sense unless they are like selling everything and then gambling on that this Iran war will like pull on for like for like years, and possibly like make the oil price double and go up to 200, and that they're allocating into oil instead.
Yeah.
It's definitely weird. Um, and at the same time that like this is happening, you have like fucking miners in South America somewhere, who comes from Europe, by the way,
Yeah.
who are like building fucking mega mines and saying like, yeah, we're gonna get like 20,000 ounces of gold this year, which is like half a ton, and next year we're gonna do a ton, 40,000 ounces.
Fuck, man, there's an interesting article here on Forbes India.
Yeah.
Why the gold why the Iran conflict triggered but why the precious metals muted response reveals deeper macro forces at play, by Himani Kothari. From March 5th, 2026. Go read that if you're interested. If you're interested in going deeper into
I definitely
this.
will, because there are some bigger forces at play here.
No, yeah. All right. But that's just the gold and more like what do you think about the the potential for? Do you think Trump is going to be insane enough to put ground troops on the ground in Iran?
I would like call it a fucking mistake if he did that.
Yeah, I mean, Congress has just agreed to continue the war, but only with airstrikes.
Yeah, because like imagine this. For one, Iran has been preparing for this for years, and their strategy is to involve as many countries in the Middle East as they can, and push up the oil prices to 200, and then eventually create like a huge global financial crisis due to the price increases of all merchandises and wares that would follow with, right?
Yeah. I watched Real Life Lore on YouTube, and he explains the geopolitical conflict very interestingly with showing maps and like where what countries are pushing from. And he was actually stating that Saudi Arabia could also be dragged in the war on the side of the US, though.
Yeah.
So it would think about that, though. The US and Saudi Arabia would be the allies against Iran and against Iran, Yemen, and Lebanon, because there's the Hezbollah and the Houthis, right?
Right.
So fuck, man.
And here's like another thing that, like, even if Trump pulls out of Iran, Israel will not. They are going to keep pushing forward no matter what.
Yeah.
And then they're like declaring that they're like low munitions and low ammo. And who the fuck do you think that they're going to ask for more ammo?
Yeah, and who do you think is going to deliver that? Who do you think is going to be so greedy for money for American-made weapons that they're going to deliver?
Yeah, that's Trump.
Despite pulling out militarily, but they're still going to fucking. They're not going to stop sending weapons to Israel. That's no way that's gonna fucking happen.
So regardless of what, this war is going to keep going on.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me because I understand the end game here.
No. There is no good outcome. No, because they already got they're already starting to drill for more oil in the US. They have the Venezuela oil stuff that's probably going to lead to some oil shit there, and like there's not much more to come after in relation to the bloodshed of Americans that will die in this war.
Yeah, but it's like I would have like understood it kind of if there was like a true opposition in Iran ready to step in and take control, but there isn't. 80% of the country is like pro-regime.
But it's also because we still have the 600,000 soldiers in the Revolutionary Guard that patriotically serve the regime. So until you can get them convinced that which is not going to happen, then like how as a citizen in a country like that are you going to stand up against 500,000 revolutionary soldiers?
Yeah.
You can,
and not only that, but they're drilled hard in like guerrilla tactics. So it would be like fucking Afghanistan and Iraq all over again, where like they're hiding in caves, IEDs.
Yeah, no. Okay. Finish your thought, and then I'm going to tell you why why Iran is going to be 10 times worse.
And plus that they're like probably, I don't know. Do they have like weapons of mass destructions?
No, not so much about that. But like, let's take the first one, Iraq. That was a disaster. But the reason why that conflict lasted relatively short amount of time was because it's a flat, open country, easy to fucking invade with tanks and stuff. And some crazy dictator, not unlike Hitler, who had a delusion of reuniting the entire Middle East under Iranian rule. So, and Afghanistan granted the geography, the terrain there is a little bit trickier, but most of the infrastructure and most of the military infrastructure and most of the resistance was just a bunch of local warlords using Russian broken AAs up against hyper-tuned American weapon systems. Whereas as you said, Iran, fucking 600,000 highly trained and guerrilla tactically trained fighters with much better weapons than either Iraq or Afghanistan had. So no, man, like Iran is going to be 10 times worse than either of these countries.
It would be like a nightmare scenario.
Yeah. And plus, like as opposed to Iraq, who was flat open country and small, Iran is a huge country with a lot of mountains that where you can easily like get lost.
And let me ask you this: did it fix everything to kill Saddam?
Fuck no.
Like, did it fix everything to kill Gaddafi?
Fuck no.
No. So what's?
Actually, I forgot Gaddafi, and you could say the same thing about the warlords in Afghanistan.
Nothing fixed. Like Taliban is still running Afghanistan.
Yeah.
A regime is still in charge in Iraq. A regime is still in charge in Libya.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
So you would have like thought that like they would have like learned from previous history, which is fairly recent as well.
Yeah, but with a president who like I just watched a video on YouTube, The World According to Trump. I'm just going to send that to you after the podcast, where or actually just have Albert find it here so it goes quicker, where they've collected everything you said about other countries and then kind of drawn a map based on Trump's saying, so that like he said that Crimea was an island the size of Texas in the middle of the ocean, and then he just cut that out and put it in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. This is where Crimea is. So
man.
with a president who can't even place shit on a map, I wouldn't expect him to have learned much about history. And I mean, it's not like you can't actually blame him for it. You can blame the American public for voting for this monkey, but you can't blame Trump because he's been very good at business and like doing negotiations in business, but he's never had any political experience.
Like the guy should have been like retired ages ago.
Yeah,
He could have been sitting at like Mar-a-Lago and then eating his Big Macs.
Yeah. Fuck, man. and now we have pushed, or the Americans have pushed some testosterone-filled capitalist businessman into a place where you actually need to make statements about other countries politically based on history. I mean,
Right.
that is doomed to fail is actually obvious.
Like I would just like take a look at the biggest population-wise states of America, and then see that it looks like a fucking third world country with all these homeless people and people that can't afford shit. And then think like, wow, what a success! What a success in like running a country.
Yeah, fuck, man.
And I can't say that like it's better in Europe either, where you have like Paris with also these shanty towns and insanely big homeless encampments.
Yeah.
Same in Germany.
Are you watching the what I have on the screen right now? This is the world according to Trump on YouTube. Look at the thumbnail.
I just still have like the Chat GPT on the front there.
Oh. What?
Maybe you were using two screens.
Yeah, I am. That's weird. Do I have to go into I probably have to go in. Yeah, there. Yeah, now you can see it.
And where can I see like pop out? What stream? Okay. Yeah, world according to Trump. Nepal nipple.
Yeah, because apparently he's called Nepal nipple.
And then South America, it's just hot women. And Africa, Obama is from here.
Oh yeah, no, that's a different video, but yeah, that's also interesting.
Wow. Obama is from here.
Yeah, but yeah, so the man doesn't know shit, and then there's just this picture of him as being like frustrated, showing teeth, like some bull with bad hair. Fuck, man.
You know, like it would have been like way better, in my opinion, if instead of like doing all this bullshit, if pretending to be world police, to actually just have like focused on America. And he wants everything like to be more from America and American made, then you also need to build the infrastructure to get the lumber, to get the fucking silver, to get the steel, and to set that up, and that's gonna cost money.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem to get that, and now I haven't heard one word from him lately about how he wants steel to be American made or lumber to be from America and not Canada.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it didn't work in like the first month that I was like pushing for it. So put that on ice.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
So it is incredibly bad politics of like how to run a country. And you know this war office in Iran, and remember, one of like his key points for like the election was that he was going to save America money. Remember?
Yeah.
That was the whole point of like getting Musk in to like run that department of cutting costs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And what is this war in Iran costing? So far, it is costing $1 billion in munitions a day.
Fuck, man.
So,
oh my god.
So in the month
that's putting America first.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that means like if they're like just keeping this going, then it's like 365 billion in munitions a day. Then you can add on like the salaries needed and what it actually costs to keep this entire operation afloat in the Middle East.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
So wow, all he's like managing to do is like put America in a more severe debt.
Yeah.
And while like their insane national debt is growing, and there has not been like one word either on how you're going to actually be managing to pay down this debt. Because the interest alone on their national debt equals their entire defense budget.
Yeah.
So they're like getting to like the point where it is almost impossible to pay it down. And I mean, Elon Musk is saying that like, yeah, well, AI is gonna fix everything and then take care of that.
And that's probably an even bigger delusion than Trump thinking that he can create growth by
Right.
by getting involved in Iran.
Right, because like it's like so short-sighted thinking that like it blows my mind. Because okay, let's take the scenario that like AI just takes care of everything. Um, then people are still going to like lose jobs and they will default on their mortgages, and then you will like have another big financial crisis in America uh, with 10 $15 trillion, because half their debt, like they have $15 trillion in mortgages alone.
Yeah.
And then all those will like fucking default, and then you have like another fucking crisis because now you have like 15 trillion that can't be paid.
Yeah.
And that is too big. That is too big for the government to do like in 2008 and just say, yeah, well, we're just going to bail out the banks.
Yeah, fuck, man.
So it is, so I don't understand, like the hole has like gotten so big now that I don't think that they can dig themselves out of it.
No, fuck, man.
And
And but
the
that
more it collapses,
but that hole was already that hole was already massive before
yeah,
Trump
yeah,
Trump fucked it up.
yeah, it was. But when America collapses, and I'm saying when, you will just have all these Mag 7 companies just moving away from America.
Yeah.
And then you will just have
That,
another third world country in the world.
yeah, and then you will first have a civil war over there. Another another civil
Yeah.
war, not 300 years after the last one.
Right, and it would be like the most dangerous country on earth in the event of a civil war, because
Oh yeah.
because like first off, like half the planet's firearms is in that one country.
Uh,
And second, you have how many veterans from the wars who have like just been preparing for just that moment and have like stacked up with ammo and guns in their basement.
and most importantly, you have about 4,000 nuclear weapons there as well,
Yeah,
that are armed and
yeah,
ready.
yeah. And
Um,
then and imagine some hillbilly taking control of that.
fuck.
Like,
No,
like,
shit.
we're gonna nuke Washington D.C.
Oh my god. That is just. But now, I mean, that's not gonna happen though, because the secure, like, actually, that's one of the good things about humanity. There's not one country in the world where their security around nuclear weapons isn't airtight, and even
Nah, and like most,
even in a civil war, you would still have a functioning government, but you would have a lot of rebels like rising up, like you had the Confederacy, but you
yeah,
still have the, what was the Union,
yeah,
that's still like in the Civil World War, no, it's the Civil War II of the United States of American history. It would, like, let's just say you would not have the Confederacy versus the Union. Now you would probably have the government.
yeah.
Let's just call it, like, what can we call it? Like, yeah, the U.S. and then we have like some, like, let's say, hillbilly renegades on the other side, and it would be the United States government that would still have access to the entire nuclear weapons arsenal.
I was reading like a book some years ago that is called Burning Nation. It's written by some Marine who is writing the fiction novel. It's about the event of a civil war in America,
Yeah.
and he's writing that like what's happening in the book is that the National Guard is not directly under the president; it's under the governor.
Yeah.
So when Trump is ordering National Guard deployment in California, for instance, he's doing it through the governor of California and telling him to do it. So in this book, it is the governors that are going against Washington D.C. and then taking control of the National Guard.
Yeah.
So you have like different factions. You have like the National Guards of like some states, and fighting the U.S. government, and you have the militia groups, and then you have all the other factions in between.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it would be like a nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm like thinking.
But I mean, like in terms of nuclear weapons, I mean, I was just at a couple of lectures that were about like in this culture festival in Aarhus that was the last 2 weeks, where there was a professor of idea history that was talking about the nuclear umbrella is the term, and then which is basically that. You basically, that's why Iran wants a nuke. It's not to start nuking everything, but countries that have nuclear weapons are actually safe because if they're attacked, they can retaliate. But they don't get it to use it as a weapon. They use it to defend if they're attacked with nukes.
Yeah.
So you see, for Iran, if they can acquire a couple of warheads, then they're safe from any invasions to their country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why Trump can actually invade right now, because had he waited 10, 20 years, and then they would have gotten a nuclear weapon arsenal, then he couldn't have done it.
No,
So that's why some people actually consider acquiring nuclear weapons peaceful.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Because if he hadn't invaded Iran, then they would have gotten that capability, and now you would have religious fanatics in possession of nuclear warheads.
Yeah, but look at it this way: how stupid! It's at the end of the day, it's an expression of the anxiety in the world. Now we're actually getting philosophical, and I still have some stuff that I wanted to talk about at the end of this. But what is dominating the world in our alienated society? And that is anxiety. Yeah. Think about it this way. There's a lot of other countries that have nukes. Pakistan, India, China, Russia, France, UK, Israel, even though they deny it, and one more, and North Korea. Fucking North. I mean, why aren't we afraid that North Korea is going to launch a strike against us? Why isn't he invading North Korea? Because they have them, so they know it's going to be bad for them if they invade North Korea. But a country that doesn't even have nuclear weapons yet, they get fucking attacked left and right.
Yeah.
So that's the point of this nuclear umbrella term. If you have it as a country, as a political country, if you have nuclear weapons, it basically ensures that you can't be invaded.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Because that's the logic behind North Korea.
But in a civil war, then you can't really use nukes on your own population.
Yeah, that's why, and that's why the world stability, the stability of the world is very dependent on that none of these countries that have and this goes back to 1945. That's why 1945 is probably the most important year or the most radical change in human history, because it was on that date that the world order was the countries that have nuclear weapons are not allowed to fall. Because if they fall, then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
And the more countries have nuclear weapons, especially smaller ones, the likelier it is that they will fall, and the likelier it is that these weapons will be falling into the wrong hands. So that's the anxiety that penetrates modern society. So that was a little bit of philosophical discourse there, but it is very relevant.
I'm thinking like if you were some advanced fucking alien race orbiting Earth, watching like from through a microscope, you would be like thinking, "What a bunch of fucking monkeys!" Yeah, right?
Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah. Like what the fuck are they doing? I mean, why are they creating these weapons that can annihilate themselves?
Yeah, and using them and then going to war for natural resources.
Yeah. Well, like that's more logical, because natural resources, that's not going to be the end of humanity, but launching nukes is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what was it? Casper Andersen, from Professor of the Day History, said in that lecture. The hope is that, think about it this way: for the only two nukes that have been used militarily, not testing aside, but the only two nukes that have been used ever in history, and this is next to that there today exist 12,000 nukes worldwide, and during the Cold War it was 3 times as much, like 40,000 nukes. Of all those militarily ready nukes, only 2 have ever been detonated militarily for 80 years.
Yeah.
And who was that?
That was America bombing Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yeah, that was not even Russia. So in terms of who's actively using these fucking weapons of mass destruction, the most evil country in the world is actually the U.S. Because Russia has never used any militarily.
No.
So that's why, like, I mean, I'm not saying that that Russia is a great country and has good leadership.
Unless you count the incompetency of the Chernobyl plant. But
that was not military action.
It was militarily.
That was not a bloodthirsty, aggressive country standing with a metaphorical knife in their mouth and watering like.
No, like you like it was the radiation, the Geiger counter, like in the control room, only went up like to a max of something, right?
Yeah.
So when it was like a lot higher, then they were like, just keep looking at that counter and then saying like, yeah, it's good, all good.
Yeah, you know what?
No.
I'm actually going to go so far as to say right now that the most invasive country in history, the most dysfunctional country is the U.S. and Russia comes at it comes at space 2 maybe.
But imagine all the fucking blood they took to like get that country.
Yeah.
Because like it started with just 13 original states, right?
Yeah.
But that wasn't enough.
No, yeah.
And they had to like expand all the way to the west, and either and barter with who could be bartered with, and then kill who couldn't be bartered with.
Yeah, I mean, it's as we talked about on, I think, one of the first podcasts. Even that country is born in blood by a bunch of and then by a bunch of fatigued settlers who were tired of paying that tax money to the crown, and then they just grew aggressive, and all those aggressive people reproduced, and now we have a country of aggressive. I'm exaggerating a bit, but now we have a country of aggressive pirates who just wanna overthrow the world.
But it's fucking hilarious. Like, they went to war and against the crown, and then George Washington was afraid of infusing tax because he wouldn't want another uprising, right, against himself.
Yeah.
So the tax was just 1% or 0.5% or something, and now they're paying like 40% plus medical.
Yeah, because it happens gradually. But that's because, as we talked about, there's no big countries in the world that can sustain themselves without having a relatively high tax level. It's impossible.
No. Yeah.
I mean, Romania is the largest country that has a relatively low tax of 10%.
But America is the only country without free healthcare.
Because they're nuts.
So you'll be like fucking asking yourself, what the fuck am I paying 40% tax for?
Yeah.
I gotta pay for my own. I gotta pay for my own medical bills, which is skyrocketing if you get to the hospital over there.
Yeah.
So like what they're like getting for that tax, it's like hilariously little.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, they are getting police, armed police, and not too little. Military interventions globally.
Yeah.
But what does the American people get out of that?
Very little. Man, like I wouldn't want to be a warehouse worker in America.
Fuck no.
Holy shit.
Fuck no.
Ernie.
All right. What I did want to bring up right before we close, because we're getting close to an hour, is the what I've been thinking, and I've started reading. It started with me being at this lecture last week at this culture festival, where I heard Wolfram Eilenberger, who's a journalist and philosopher. Both, you can actually be those two things at the same time. And the psychiatrist Sven Brinkmann was interviewing him, and they were talking about his new book, which is called in Danish Labyrinthen, out of the labyrinth, the purpose of philosophy in our time. And basically the first 20 pages is about how, regardless of one might think about philosophy, it is a discipline where, and these are my own notes. Regardless of one might think about philosophy, it is a discipline where one trains thinking, both independent thinking as well as institutionalized thinking. That, of course, depends on what kind of philosophy one engages with.
I would say, like, this is something that is becoming more and more lost, because people...
That was actually his conclusion.
Yeah, because people don't have the ability to think critically anymore.
No.
And they are just looking for someone, social media or mainstream media, to tell them what to think.
Yeah.
And then it's like they're just programmed NPCs, and then this is what I believe now.
Yeah. And that's why philosophy in our time is crucial, especially if you engage with the independent thinking philosophy. But I'm like trying to think how I can describe this most effectively in the last 5 minutes here. So basically, institutionalized thinking or institutionalized philosophy is if you take if you take a bunch of theories from previous philosophers, you write it down, you like write books about it, and then you take all that thinking, all those arguments in those books, and you try to outline a system of thinking. Like you take argument A, this person argues that argument A will lead to argument B, and argument B will lead to the cause B or something like that. And then you put that into a school, and then you teach that at university. And another philosophical school could be you take argument A that leads to argument C, and argument C then leads to causality C or D or whatever. But you take different ways to think, and then you put that into a structure. You structure it in a way of thinking, and there's nothing wrong with that on the first hand, because it does train you to think, but it doesn't train you to think independently from this. It trains you in following a recipe.
Yeah, you need to think like independently and make up your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking about this when I'm like driving to work, and then I'm seeing people waiting for the bus, and what are they doing? They are like squatting down, watching their squatting down, hunched down over their phone with a fucking headset on.
Yeah.
Completely detached from the outside world. And
yeah. And I literally just noted down 3 concepts, or 3, let's call them concepts, that are the essence of the opposite, what Wolfram Eilenberger is arguing, that the way that because also he didn't study philosophy, because as he said, he wouldn't advise anyone to study philosophy because then you don't get a job, because it's hard to make money with it. So he became a journalist, and now he's writing books about philosophy and actually being a philosopher, because it's not a protected title. And what the way that he wants to, because like also if you study philosophy, then again it's an institutionalized school that you follow. So he's arguing to go against that. But the way he's arguing to do this independent critical thinking, or just independent critical thinking is a different thing, but like just independent thinking, is that you need to have input. So you do need to read philosophers. You do need to read a little bit in order to get some philosophical input, or discuss it with other people, or listen to audiobooks or podcasts. But you do need some sort of input so that you have something to go on. That's kind of like, you can't get around that. But then what some institutions forget is that you also need feedback. So you do need, like you could still have this in an institutionalized thinking, where you have not just lectures, but you have like group discussions where you sit with your fellow students and you discuss it. That's the feedback. Or you hand in an assignment, and then the professor gives detailed feedback. Like one of my English professors in American history, he wrote a 2-page feedback. It's the only feedback I've ever gotten on a university assignment. But he wrote 2 pages of what I'd done well and what I could have done better for that assignment. And he was like, 80 years old. So he was like, but he did that for all 20 students. Like the man is a legend. But the last most crucial thing that I think most institutionalized schools are forgetting is reflection, which is basically restitution for the brain. So reflection means actually disengaging with any of this philosophy, or disengaging from anyone who is discussing it with you, and just going for a walk to think. That's it's really that simple. And I think this is this last part is probably one of the most crucial things why people don't think independent anymore. They forget to reflect. They forget to detach themselves from all this bullshit social media, because they sit there doom scrolling. I want more. No, sometimes you need less.
And then think about it, like you sleep, that's 8 hours. Get up.
Yeah, like if you're good,
yeah.
like some of my friends, they're like, 6.5 hours, that's fine.
Yeah, let's say 8 hours, and then you get up, and like if you have a family and wife or girlfriend or whatever, like it's like dinner, it's like breakfast, shower, all that. So that's another 30 minutes, right?
Yeah,
at least, and then you drive to work or commute by tram or bus or whatever, bike.
Yeah.
It's another 30 minutes. So now we're like lost 9 hours. And then you get to work. That's another 8 hours. So now you have done like 17 hours of your day. You got to do this whole thing with like getting back and then making dinner. So that's another couple of hours, right?
Yeah.
So now you're down. So now you have like 4 hours left. And you got to like put the kids to sleep if you have kids. And all that. So that's another hour, maybe 2, right?
Yeah.
Now you have 2 hours left. They're exhausted, and it's doom scrolling time.
Yeah.
Right? Or watch on brain dead TV or something like I'm doing with Gold Divers.
Yeah. And I'm not
still, like,
and there in that whole day I'm not seeing a lot of time for reflection, except there's potential in two things you mentioned. And that is the transport back to and from work, if you're on a public transport, or if you drive. But then again, I'm not. I only try because like driving yourself is also kind of mentally exhausting. So I'm not gonna say that you have time for reflection there. You have time to listen to podcasts. You have time for the input part, but not for reflection.
No.
So the only
you're down to like the last couple of hours there at the evening, right?
Yeah, that's your only hours for reflection.
Right. But at that point, I would argue that like persons are so exhausted that they're not doing it, and some people are also like going to the gym like for an hour.
Yeah.
Also like at the evening when the kids are sleeping or whatever, right?
And that actually you could argue that like especially if you're on the treadmill, then your thoughts are running.
Maybe, but I would like guarantee you that like most people are just putting on some boom music when they are on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And then they get home and now they're exhausted from working out and then it's bedtime.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of like windows for reflection for that entire day, except for maybe a treadmill or a walk in the evening. But most people would not take this window.
Yeah.
Because they have like programmed themselves to like, this is what I'm gonna do. Plus, you need some kind of like motivation at least when you are on the treadmill. I would say most people need that. Yeah. So then you're down like to the music. I can listen to podcasts or reflect when I'm rowing at the gym.
Yeah.
But this is not most people.
No. Yeah, like, and but then there is also, if you're watching some show that is not too intellectual, then there's potential that for short moments of reflection there. That's actually why I like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, because there you have these long, dragged out sequences of Mike just not speaking, doing anything, or like some desert that is being filmed for 2 minutes, where nothing happens.
But Mike's an old man and he's living alone.
Yeah,
and he's seen some shit and he's done some shit, so he is definitely reflecting on the shit that he has done.
Yeah, definitely. But my point is just that not a lot of shows have that much time, give that much time for what I call show more, tell less.
No.
Because it's not show it, don't tell, because they do have dialogue and narrative, but they do have a lot of empty scenes where you just show things.
I wanted to say, like Sopranos, how much fucking self-reflecting does Tony do in that entire show?
Fuck. Yeah.
Because like regardless of like what he's like reflecting on, right? It's never himself that is the issue.
No.
Like it wasn't cheating, it wasn't having like 7 or 10 lovers and prostitutes or whatever. Nah.
Yeah. Fuck, man. No, but it's not so much about the actors or the characters and what the reflection they do. It's more about like, does the show provide a possibility for the viewer to reflect upon all the bombs and the action and this bad guy killed this guy. This bad guy is selling these drugs to this drug dealer, and this guy is like going into this intricate plot and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. This thing over here. Like
Sopranos does that, because there are also like empty scenes in The Sopranos where you just see him like sitting in the quiet, either in a dream or by himself, and then you can think.
You know what show is really bad at what I just described? The Blacklist. That is just constant like action, and then and then we gotta go into the prepping room. We got a preview, and then you get 1,000 pieces of information that are cryptically linked to some bullshit, and you're like, I didn't need all this to follow the plot.
And Donald loading up the M4.
Yeah. Where's the reflection in that? And then it's like, and then Elizabeth Keane getting pregnant, and then dying once, and then getting resurrected, and then dying twice. What did I just see?
Oh fuck!
Fuck that show, man. The only thing that was good about that show, as we have discussed before, was the hook, which they have been milking, and then the end, which was Reddick just getting out of the blue. Like, the fuck, man, that ending was a complete surprise. Like, it was so much of a what the fuck moment to me, that I was like, yeah, this is actually good. Like, what? The dude just gets trampled by a bull with all the other fucking villains he has been like facing with guns and shit. Then the bull is becoming his endeavor, or his demise.
Yeah.
So like I liked that. The only thing I liked was the hook, where like him going into a bank, getting arrested, and then sitting in a box.
Which they milked for like 8 seasons or 10 seasons.
Yeah. And then the end where he gets trampled by the bull.
Oh man.
Because it's like, what? Like
you also notice that like he loses the guys around him, and then there's like no explanation. It's just like a new mercenary on his payroll.
yeah.
I mean, like,
Fuck, man. Jesus. Yeah, that show definitely has no rewatchability.
no.
Fuck no. There are not so many shows that I find worth rewatching. I think at the top of my mind it would be Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Prison Break,
Banshee.
and Banshee. Yeah. And then we can go into sitcoms like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Big Bang Theory, and what was the other one? Can't remember. I can't remember.
When I was like watching Banshee again, it didn't like strike me at like the first time I watched it, but now that I watched it again, you remember the ending when it's like riding away?
Yeah.
He's like at this point, like first time I watched it, I just felt like, oh, okay, like he's riding away, just like he came in with fucking nothing, but he doesn't have nothing. He actually has millions of dollars. Because Job went back to find that guy that stole their money.
Yeah.
And then took the money back because he gives that's the duffel bag that Sugar is wearing when he's leaving in the after cut scene. And considering like how close they were, then he would also have given Hood or whatever his name was his cut.
Yeah.
So he is actually riding out of that town with millions of dollars on his account.
Yeah.
So definitely a good ending in that way.
Yeah.
Plus he did have like a free pussy that he could hook up with in Washington D.C., which was the FBI agent. who told him like to look him up if he was ever in town.
Yeah. Fuck, man. All right, I think that is gonna do it for this episode. We're on 1 hour and 17 minutes, so thank y'all for listening. Every all of our 0 viewers, and until next time.
Yeah, till next time.